Last time on Dice Funk, Gov.
Are you in our horse?
I am in the horse, yes.
How did you get in the horse?
The quarry, the nightmares of evil, they have gotten your scent, and they make moves to infiltrate the village.
You know who has lots of tentacles and appendages? Neellith.
Yeah, you think I should take Neellith on a date?
You wouldn't even need two. You wouldn't even need two Neelliths, you just need one.
One Neellith is enough to hold all your hands.
I knew Master Voya. She did not tell me she was leaving, but many people seem to believe she told you.
I remember Potter and Gigi both questioning me about what had happened for an extensive period of time, for what felt like weeks.
I don't know where the genius is.
Oh, surely in their workshop.
What is the Good Neighbor Initiative?
That is classified.
Yes, initiate the Good Neighbor Initiative.
Yeah, there's a farming robot, there's a cooking robot. You see one which has like combs and scissors and disinfectant spray. You see one which is covered in like thimbles and needles and swatches.
At a glance, I assume they're all sort of wandering in the direction of their respective buildings that they might correlate to.
Governor Gigi, is everything all right?
Lo and behold, my star pupil has returned to the village.
Helsingin, you friend. I've heard so much about you.
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats. They keep their little heads from falling in the snow, and I turn round and there you go. And Michael, you would fall and turn the white so red as strawberries in the summertime.
What if I'm just like, hey everyone, stop talking. I'm going to introduce myself now. I'm taking control of the podcast.
Oh shit!
That's a fun persona, yeah.
Oh, right, that's great.
Oh no, someone on this podcast with confidence. Ah!
We've been invaded by confidence. This is a travesty.
Oh no.
Over time, all the players become Flanderized. Like everyone, everyone starts off kind of like a well-rounded, nuanced person. And by the end, it's just like Lauren's always high, Chris is mean to me, and then if you just start off at 100, just being like, "This is my show, shut the fuck up, I'm here to take names." There's nowhere to go but up.
Well, welcome to my regime, everyone. I hope you'll worship me, your benevolent dictator on this podcast. I'm Sophie. I'm at VemaSophie on Twitch and Twitter, and CurioVids on Patreon, because I'm Curio on YouTube, where I make video essays. I'm currently in the middle of putting out one about the Matrix sequels and why they're good, actually. I know, hot take. Go check it out. It's a good video.
Does it include the Animatrix?
Yes.
I'm in. I'm in.
Hacker voice. I'm in.
This is a fun, fresh change of pace for me because the kind of route everyone on this show takes when they join is that they're like a centrist lib, and I slowly pull them left over many seasons. But you're already there. You're full communist.
Austin, how dare you suggest I was ever a centrist lib?
I mean, listen, okay, of all of us currently here, Laura was the one that made a meme of being depraved by the suggestion of what a centrist lib health system would be back in season 4. We all saw that horror.
It's not my fault I didn't know that if a cop shoots you in America, you still have to pay the bill for that. Even if you did nothing wrong. I should have known that.
No, not only that. Hospitals will turn you away if you have a gunshot wound.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, I'm taking notes here. I'm going to give everyone more general geopolitics. You're going to learn a lot about Eastern Europe and...
Here's my character, Bakunin Lenin.
Fantastic.
Please, Kropotkin. Anyway, so welcome to me. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sophie.
Hi.
Great to meet you all.
This is a D&D podcast. We occasionally play that here.
This is a communism podcast now, baby.
All right, so Sophie, Curio on YouTube, links are in the description. All the ways to support you are going to be there for the audience. Click on the links; they'll take you there. That's how the
That's so
internet works.
convenient. You almost can't afford not to click on them.
You're really losing out if you think about it. It's a detriment to you spiritually, psychologically, and socially not to click on the links.
The opportunity cost of not clicking on it is severely worse than actually clicking on the link. So, really everyone is ethically obligated to do so now.
We're dealing with a trolley problem at this point.
If you missed out on Dogecoin, don't miss out on Sophie's links.
Oh
So
no!
Austin, where did the story leave us? What was occurring?
Well, last we left this adventure, we had all invested heavily in Ethereum. An easy mistake to make. No, actually, where we need to go from Sophie's personal introduction is the introduction of your character, who is at level 7,
Ooh.
and you have some stuff that you need to share so we can set the scene because you have arrived in town.
So Phillippa is a snowy owl Aarakocra, and she's an anthropologist. So, bookish and academic would be the first kind of thing the way she is, but she's a druid. But the way I conceived it is she was raised druid. It's it is her religion. It does give her magic powers. It's there and it's a part of things. But what she really cares about is studying cultures and learning about them. And she's a Circle of the Shepherd druid because her other big passion is animals. So at level 7, they gave me the ability to be able to just talk to any animals and not as an action, but just it's something I can do. I can wild shape, but it's not really it's not as useful a combat thing. I've got more spells for that, but maybe I can, I don't know, be a literal fly on the wall if we need to spy on something or something. I don't know.
But between our two characters being able to speak to animals and speak to plants, we've got the whole existence covered. We can talk to anything now.
I saw a very interesting tweet from the fandom, and it was a picture of someone saying that if they cast Raise Dead and speak to plants, you could speak to furniture.
That it went viral, and I'm enough of a rules lawyer to be like, that won't work because of how Speak with Dead specifically works.
And that's why we're going to kill your character off, so you can't tell us it doesn't work.
Are we not allowed to do it because it would be wrong and horrifying, or because we literally can't do it?
If a D&D rule is broken and Skitch isn't around to hear it, did it even make a sound?
The specific reason is that Speak with Dead works only with basically corpses that have heads and mouths and such.
Not to get onto a tangent, but Skitch, I will raise you this. What if someone carves a face and mouth into the chair?
That someone has proposed that. My response to that is it's not a corpse at that point still. It would have to be a tree that has a face on it.
A mutilated corpse is a corpse.
Well, the troubling implication here is that you could carve a face on a dead person, and that face could speak if you did Raise Dead.
Exactly!
There's lots of little nuances with how rules as written operate, and so it all depends on the table ultimately, but that's also why, for example, Raise Dead wouldn't work on furniture as well because it applies on creatures, and furnitures aren't creatures.
Well, what if the table was made out of a magical creature?
Oh god.
Then at that point you're not applying on a generic plant per se. You're applying on a creature that has been modified. But
So if I took your body and I cut it up into pieces and then rearranged them into a different thing, you're dead. I can't reanimate you and talk to you?
yeah, there's other stipulations that we can go deep into.
We
but
see a cool snowy owl.
there's a reason why the term rules lawyer exists, and it's because of
Skitch, there's a cool snowy owl here.
I know. My character is there. I'm just finishing something before we move
Singing
on.
new friends.
All right, we need to do a bonus episode that's just Mari and Skitch arguing. But before we get there, level 7, Aarakocra, which is an anthropomorphic bird person capable of flight.
I am a bird person.
A person. Snowy owl,
Yep.
druid. What's the background?
Yeah. Anthropologist.
All right. And what else? Alignment?
Geez. Oh no. Did I even pick that? Oh god.
You failed. This was a test.
Oh no.
Get out of here.
I guess like good neutral, but like I don't know.
If you haven't, it doesn't have to be set in stone. We are not a campaign that is like, no, that's immovable. You must be that.
I feel like neutral good makes the most sense because she very much views herself as someone who is there to observe and not interfere too much, and like, but also definitely like wants to be doing good in the world.
All right. So when we last left the adventure, you arrived in town, and the governor greeted you, Governor Gigi, and you two knew each other already, and so
Yes.
he was very excited to see you. You've been chatting away, but the players weren't privy to the details of that conversation. Aze is the only one who's there. He walks up, so in character, it is now time for introductions and role play. So I'll step back. The opening image is this beautiful village, lightly dusted with the snow. Aze running across an open field toward the governor, who is talking to the mysterious newcomer. How does that look?
Helsingen, new friend. I've heard so much about you. I'm Phillippa, and my father was Yazi, and his father was Bob, and his father... Wait, you're not a frost giant. Sorry, it's a thing. We introduced the whole ancestry, and I've been only around frost giants for about 9 months. What's your name?
I forgot my name. Help!
Aze is struck.
The accent was too powerful.
It's very powerful. I love it.
I feel like I've been listening to a really detailed catalog of your adventures, like an audio program of some kind. Like I feel I'm all caught up.
Aze just sort of blinks a few times at all of that, and then just gathers his composure, and then says, "Indeed, I'm Aze, the mystic of Grendel, but you said your name was Phillippa."
Yes, I'm Phillippa, and my father was Yahtzee, and his father was Bob, and his dang it.
When was the last time that you were in Grendel, Phillippa?
Oh, I guess I was here briefly, but I keep passing through, but only for like a day because I'm going to different settlements to learn the way that they exchange. My thesis is on debt and bestial economies. The way that beasts trade.
Yeah, Gigi claps you on the shoulder and says, "Zounds, my best student. So impressive at everything she tries."
I have to say, you do seem familiar. I must have seen you passing by here and there when I was occupied with work around town over the past, several years at the least. But what brings you here now? Are you just back from another one of your... back with your time with the frost giants, you were saying?
Actually, the frost giants are very insular, and they sent me out because there's a sacred relic that they think is... They believe it may have been stolen by someone from Grendel, and I volunteered to go and get it back for them because, well, have you seen frost giants? They're quite big, and, they wanted to come here and get it back themselves. Which, personally, I did not think was going to go well.
No, especially if they had come on a day like today. Today's a day of celebration, and yet the mood is a bit stifled as is. Having frost giants show up would only make things even worse. But do you know of what relic they are searching for?
Oh, I'll know them when I see them.
Governor Gigi, is there a place that Phillippa will be staying during her time here?
Oh, indubitably. She can set up in the old schoolhouse. I have no need of it anymore. I just got done telling her that I'm the governor now. Isn't that exciting?
It's super exciting. Does the old schoolhouse have room for pets? And she would gesture behind her, and there's like a big, fluffy, woolly white sheep plodding to catch up with her.
What are school children but unruly pets?
How true.
What? Okay, this is Austin now. I realize I could do this as Gigi, but I, Austin Yorsky, human man, am actually interested in the sheep. What's the sheep's name? Tell me about the sheep. I'm very excited.
The sheep's name is Nobi.
Like Nobi Nobi Boy?
No, it's not. I didn't mean it as a reference to anything, but I...
Okay. You'll have to excuse us. We do things a certain way.
What happened was Phillippa found a sheep on her way to the Frost Giant village and adored it instantly because she loves animals. And then when she got there, she found out that it was one of their herd and they were going to eat it. And so she made up a story on the spot that it was like a sheep deity reincarnated in mortal form. And then this both managed to get her to save the sheep's life and also got her kind of installed as their storyteller or scald, I think it's called, like in their tribe. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a native speaker of any of this language group, but I've watched the History Channel show Vikings, so I believe it is Scald.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Documentary Vikings.
Ozzy just glances at the sheep and then just sort of nods to Phillippa and then remarks, well, we are at the back end of any festivities for Young Day, so it should be easy enough to set up a home in the schoolhouse. But
as you mentioned the holiday, there is a noise behind you of people not shrieking but yelling, like, what's that? What's going on? Some general hubbub and to-do in the village. As you see, there are large figures moving in several different directions from where you're standing that you can see.
I guess Phillippa would probably gasp because she's going to think that's the Frost Giants.
Yeah. They're not quite as big, but at this distance, they could easily be mistaken for frost giants. I think frost giants are like 20 feet tall.
Right.
These robots are more like 10 feet tall, but at a distance, they're clearly very big.
Well, now I know they're robots, but okay.
Yeah. One of them is coming in your direction. Actually, it's probably several of them because there are 13 of them, and they're spreading out throughout the village from a relatively central point. And so you can probably see a couple like on the horizon in different directions, but one's coming more or less near you. And it's very strange. It has a number of visible like gears and pistons that are working, spewing black smoke and dripping grease. It has what can only be described as like a stylized goblin face on the head of the robot. You wouldn't recognize who this is supposed to depict, but I think Oz immediately recognizes what is the kind of genius of Grendel grin on this. And this robot that's coming towards you, it's not making a beeline as if to attack you, but it seems like it's going to come near you on whatever path it is currently going on. It is going in this direction with two arms that catch your attention. One appears to be a giant pair of scissors, and one appears to be a straight razor.
What is the genius up to with that? Just because he looks at the head and sees the goblin face, and he mutters that phrase under his breath, probably not loud enough for Phillippa to notice. So Phillippa has the floor if they wish to save Gigi's life from this assaulting mechanical frost giant.
When Ozzy looks back, Phillippa's not where she was standing, and then I guess maybe he'd look back again, and she's like walking right up very briskly to the robot, and she goes, "Hello, are you friendly?"
That's great.
Kill it with kindness. Kill it with kindness.
So these robots, I'm going to be calling them good neighbors. That is the name of this class of robot. The good neighbor does not acknowledge you addressing it and just begins walking, but you're kind of standing in its path now, and it just walks through you. So you're going to, let's see here. Just take D4 damage as you are kicked. Only one, not bad. And so you don't get the sense that was malicious, but also you're not getting through to it.
Okay.
And it begins walking kind of towards the edge of town. You both have been here enough to know that is generally the direction of the barber's cave. That is Venta,
who lives on the other side of a tarn, which during the summer is a truly beautiful little mountain lake, but right now is mostly frozen over.
If Arze's first reaction to this is to not go check that the Neellith's restaurant is okay, she's going to be very upset. Don't let the robots get the restaurant.
So I guess for just 1 damage, Phillippa's just got some feathers ruffled, and she's looking across to Arze. She's like, "Is this one of your friends? He's really rude."
Not exactly, though I'm fairly certain which villager is responsible for this.
Egads! The barbershop is an important source of revenue. Moistwatch, apprehend this ne'er-do-well!
Well, unfortunately, you're looking at one half of the dry watch here, Gigi, so I can do what I can, but Aze then pauses and looks to see if he can glean any other, features of the other good neighbors, even from a distance, to see if there's other defining features on them.
Yeah, you see in the distance there are these 10-foot tall steampunk robots walking all over the village now, and the ones that are coming in this direction have distinctive features. There's one going towards Neellith's restaurant that has a spatula hand and a cleaver hand. There's one going towards the farm, which has a rake hand and a shovel hand, etc., etc.
So Phillippa would go, do you need backup for your dry itch? What was it you said?
I'm part of the town guard group known as the Moist Watch here. It's called that for reasons that are both obvious and overly technical.
The name Moist Watch becomes infinitely more amusing now that Arze is having to straight face explain it.
She'd be like, I love overly technical reasons.
At this point, the governor is seeing you explain the Moist Watch to Phillippa. He looks around and he just he goes, "I will do my governorly duty and protect the citizens." And he tackles the sheep to the ground and tries to cover it with his body.
Thank you. He's very anxious. He needs that. Aze, do you think we should guard this or something? If you're a guard?
Were you hoping to basically do those videos of kicking the Boston Dynamics robots?
Yes, basically, yes. In that case, I would probably go more, oh geez, all my attacks are animal-based, and this is a machine. Oh god, what have I done? No, I probably would want to, summon something. Oh jeez.
Yeah, this is an interesting case. We've never, in the history of this show, which I believe is entering its 6th year, have ever had 2-player characters who are the same class. And the fact that you're druids in the middle of a robot arc is very funny. Because go leaves, go small animals.
Mm-hmm. I think the what is it? The one that allows you to
with conjure animals, I could summon. Let me just see about this. 4 giant goats? I'm just picking off a list here.
Beast is unfortunately not a generic term. It is a specific class that some of them fall into.
Laura says, having once summoned a dragon with this spell.
I mean, I asked permission very nicely.
I mean, here's one thing you could do. You could summon 8 horses to try to block its path.
Yeah, I would actually. I was considering the horses, but I think I'm actually gonna. Oh shit, I could do 8. That's a good point. I was about to go with 4 bears, but I could actually, 8 horses is more. So I'm gonna go with 8 horses.
All right, so paint me this picture. So the governor tackles Nobi, the sheep. I don't mean to disrespect your name. I know it's Nobi. It's just there's an instinct in me. I want to say Nobi. And just gets lost inside the woolly coat while you two stand there for a moment debating about what to do. And then paint me the picture of Phillippa's first on-screen spell.
So then I'm just going to check if there's any kind of... Yeah, so I summon Fey spirits that take the form of these beasts. So what I'd actually be doing, I think, is leaping up, and with her wings, she would sort of gesture, and it brings forth these creatures as if they're almost flying from her, right? They're appearing out of thin air. as these spirits, and then those spirits themselves turn into these animals. So like 8 fey spirits, like materialize with this gesture from her wings, and then from materializing, then turn into 8 horses, and then they are like charging the robot in a line.
So, what is your spellcasting focus? As a druid, you have, various herbs and berries and so forth on you. Do you have any particular magical item?
Phillippa has a staff of flowers, so that like when it sort of as she goes, like using it as a walking stick, it's like sprouting flowers. But like that's also her focus, I think.
I'm reading this now. Staff of Flowers is a canonical. That's not something you made up. It's a canonical device.
Yes, it is.
I do want her to be very, very, very queer and soft and cool, but like this is a thing that already exists. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you hold up your staff. You spread your wings as you take to the air, and spirits come out of your wings that take the form of horses, and they all begin running at the good neighbor, who does not react immediately. It does not like, oh no, horses, my one weakness.
Oh no, I've picked a bad animal.
But the horses, I think, like cut off the good neighbor, and it stops and like buffers for a moment, as if it's like trying to load, because it's a steampunk medieval robot. It's not running the latest operating system. So I will say there's a moment here before I will say what it does next, where you have the advantage to do something else.
I could use Create or Destroy Water, one of my spells, because just thinking again about the metal robots, maybe this would. Did you say they're steampunk?
Yeah, that was more of an aesthetic decision than.
I'm just imagining like dumping a ton of cold water onto a steam-operated thing might really mess with its system.
Or it might give it more liquid with which to make steam.
Okay, so like maybe Phillippa is just sort of circling in the air a little bit, and she's just like, "Hey, Aze, I have a cool idea, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Anyway, basically, I can summon a bunch of water, and it might work, but it also might make the situation worse." And she's just sort of circling while weighing up this thing. It's really like throwing her off. Like, I don't know, is it gonna? I don't know.
Aze is going to approach the good neighbor at a jog, and at the very least see if he can find a way to disarm. Like, are their hands holding the scissor and like the straight razor, or is it like, are its hands the scissors and straight razor? Is my question.
The latter, yeah.
Oh gosh, so you can't even
disarm it. You're gonna have to literally disarm it.
Aze will try to talk to it. And he's going to just assume that he's talking to the genius directly, even though he's not. I'm not sure what your plan is, but this all seems a bit frivolous. What are your intentions here? And then he even just tries to reach out and grab at one of the arms of the good neighbor to, pull at it.
Yeah, so it took a moment to buffer because horses blocked its pathing. I don't know if you know about like AI in a video game, but it has to repath because of an obstruction. And then using that moment, you start talking to it, and once again, it does not acknowledge you, and it stops buffering and steps over the horses and continues going towards the cave. I think accidentally kicking. Let's see here. Oh boy, I rolled 4. 4 horses go flying as it kicks them, trying to step over them. So that's bad. You summoned 8, right? So you have 4 horses left because they kind of get ejected from their horse form back into like fey spirits that go back to your staff.
I would like to try and attack it in a way that would like open it up. So like, if I could try and like slash at it with my scimitar, or like I'm specifically aiming to like open and expose its internal workings.
Yeah, so I think what you're looking for here is we'll do a strength contest of you to try to pry a panel off it with the scimitar that you have on your body.
My strength is very low, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got
bird bones comes up a lot because we've had a number of Aarakocra on this show before. We always discuss how hollow their poor bones are. I botched.
So let's see how Phillippa does.
Yeah, I got a 19.
I super duper botched. So describe revealing the scimitar, which as an anthropologist visiting your old teacher,
it's just something. It's just something D&D Beyond gave me. Yeah, I think I have. I think that Phillippa, like, maybe this was like sort of concealed in her garments a little bit, whatever. So it wasn't super obvious. Maybe it's something she picked up on her travels with other places. And yeah, she just sort of swooshes open her cloak or her overcoats or whatever, and reveals this scimitar that's been hanging from her belt, but like has been hidden up until now. And I think gets the hooked end of it and tries to get it under some kind of paneling or wherever there's any kind of leverage could be had, and then like levers against it to like sort of crowbar open the good neighbor.
Yeah, so you swoop down out of the sky, jam your scimitar in an exposed gap between two panels. With my botch and your 19, you effortlessly pry it off, and the
hell
rectangle. Yeah. the plate goes flying and sticks into the snow like a knife.
Nice.
And there's inside an exposed whirring gyrometer of some sort with technology which is completely alien to you, but I think Aze, having spent a lot of time with the genius, would be like, oh god, one of these fucking things.
Are there pistons and like steam things specifically? Because I'm with my create to destroy water here, but I have a different tactic now. I think I could destroy the water and just leave it with nothing to operate on.
Yeah, paint me that picture. I botched, so you have me.
Okay, nice. So destroy water. So the reason I was opening up specifically was that it said you can destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. That's why I was kind of, I want to open it up and then it's kind of exposed to me. So I kind of think maybe Phillippa would have landed on it slightly in order to be like prying it open, but then like jumps back as this happens and like whips her staff around to cast destroy water, and just everything dries up in there, drying out that boy.
You just vaporize the coolant. Mm-hmm. Steam begins shooting out from beneath each of the plates on this thing's body, and it begins shuddering. But it's still trying to walk towards the cave, but it's clearly breaking down. And so I think you jump away from it. You evaporate, destroy the water in its coolant system, and maybe land next to Aze and the governor, and you watch it take a couple shuddering steps before falling to its knees. And then
he's all dried up, and she looks like she wants a high five.
There's like a pause, like a beat before Ozzy like just lifts up a hand to receive the high five.
Do we have to roll for high five?
I mean, if you want, but I don't think you have to, but you can.
Roll to high five. Roll to high five.
No!
Introduce the concept of a botched high five.
Just roll flat D20. Come on.
Oh my god.
Is this going to be? Is
so
this a
nervous
challenge?
About this.
Are we each rolling off at the same time?
I got a 12.
And Ozzy got a 5, so...
Oh, no.
Ozzy's a less impressive side of the high five here.
Okay. That makes sense. He's reluctant to do it right, so okay, that's fair.
That was very impressive there, Phillippa. At least it looks like there's a way to stop these entities from getting to wherever they're trying to go.
Yeah, it has fallen dramatically to its knees in the thin snow on the ground. It's like scissor arm stuck into the ground. Its straight razor one like lying at a strange angle to its side, and its head like lolled back as if staring up into the sky. And it stops moving. It's still smoking lightly, and it does not appear to be a threat anymore. So the summon creature spell will run out, and the horses will schlorp back into your staff.
Cool.
They make that noise now canonically because I accidentally said schlorp on the mic. And I think you both look to the governor to see what to do next, and you find he has fallen asleep on top of Nobi, who's very soft.
Nobi is very cuddly. Yeah, that's canonical. Mm-hmm.
The governor is drooling on him.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Maybe watch a bit of... jeez. Okay.
Are you sure that your sheep will be safe here?
He loves when people do this. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Very well. Let's see what we can do about the rest of these machinations.
I've heard about your friend, with the restaurant. Should we check out the restaurant?
Indeed. Let's head over to the Wined and Dined Flayer and make sure that it's in working order.
Thank you for not only respecting the restaurant, but remembering and respecting the puns. Thank you.
So last we left Neellith, you were in the workshop of the Genius of Grendel. You asked me if you could investigate this place more thoroughly after activating the Good Neighbor initiative, and I told you, sorry, Laura, the episode's over. But now it's not over anymore, and we're recording it, so you can actually do that now.
Also, I'm very glad that other people are checking on my restaurant. I should really do that, but I'm very glad that Arze is such a good friend I can rely on them to do it for me, obviously.
Yeah, roll me that investigazione.
Oh, rolls. Those can go badly. Oh, no.
What's the worst that could happen? You've already unleashed the robots.
I could botch and unleash more robots. No, I crit! Do I put the robots back? I put the robots back in the box.
The most dangerous thing that you can ask Laura to do, Austin, is roll, because she's just going to roll natural 20s or other high numbers and just destroy whatever challenge you're setting up for her.
So Neellith just calmly puts the robots back in their box, and then we all have tea.
You find a big button labeled Bad Neighbor Initiative. You push it and they all go back.
The only thing that can stop a good neighbor.
The gun is a bad neighbor. Oh no.
Oh, God.
So Austin, how do I break your puzzle?
Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of things I want to establish up front. One is that the mystery of what happened to the Genius of Grendel is the focus of this arc, and it also has a definitive answer. Chris and I have recorded all the stuff leading up to this, so I actually know, and you're going to be uncovering it, which means that, and also the audience will hear that at some point. I'm not gonna, there will be more Chris Larios content for you to enjoy. But so we're going to be uncovering that for this arc. And so some of the things I'm going to say to you, you're going to be like, Austin, that's a really weird thing to say. And I just want to impress upon you that it's not going to make more sense, but it's going to make Chris sense. Okay?
Yeah. If Chris is gonna leave breadcrumbs, they're gonna be Chris breadcrumbs.
So I'm not improvising something stupid. Chris made a joke and I have to live with it. So here's what happens with a crit, is that you look around the workshop and you find a door down to a basement, basically a sub workshop. So I should not use the word sub in front of some of you.
You can't unsay it now. We all know that it's a sub basement.
So you're going into his sub dungeon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons and Dragons, it's different meanings. So I think with your crit, you find a key in here. Although the genius wouldn't use something so simple as a key. It's probably like there's a potion that's labeled key, and you pour the potion on it, and it unlocks.
No. It's a firework or some kind of explosive that you have to put in the lock and then just like light it and step back.
Yeah, you cherry bomb the lock off of this secret door down to the basement where the good shit is kept. It is dark down here. Do you have dark vision?
I do have dark vision. Yeah, hell yeah.
So this dark laboratory underneath the Genius's workshop it's all of its secrets are open to you now. The main thing you see in here is there's only one word for it, and that word is Obelisk. There is an obelisk in the basement.
Oh,
it has the Genius of Grendel's face on it,
of course it does.
Like most of their inventions. Also, there are some discs on the floor, almost like tops, like playing tops.
What happens if I try spinning one?
They scream.
Oh no!
Add 3.
Stop it spinning!
They go, ah! Feel free to add those to your inventory. 3 Genius of Grendel Beyblades.
Yeah, that is what they're gonna be.
They have more effects besides screaming, but you will need to figure out what they are by using them contextually. But you have found the 2 important things that have been left for you here.
I hope you understand that I have literally put them in my character sheet as 3 Genius of Grendel Beyblades that scream if you spin them.
That's exactly what I wanted you to write down. Or perhaps more accurately, that's what Chris wanted you to write down, and we've made their dreams come true.
I'm glad.
So, 3 Beyblades and an obelisk. My new sitcom from Chuck Lorre.
How big of an obelisk is this? I hear obelisk, I think very tall. Like,
yeah, it's like huge. The whole room. It's like the monolith from Space Odyssey.
Okay, and I have this in my inventory now, this very big stone obelisk.
No. The obelisk is not going anywhere. The obelisk is wired into the building.
Okay. Are there any, like, pressable buttons on the obelisk? Can I interact with it?
Yeah, I think there probably are some buttons and some slots for things. And you probably can push some of them and it'll beep and whir. But whatever you need to do with it to do what it was designed to do, I just said the word do like 6 times. In order to operate this thing the way it was intended will require more specific knowledge, but you know it's here and you know you can do something with it. So you're like 2/3 of the way there.
Does it have Beyblade slots?
It does not. No, the Beyblades are kind of a separate thing that Chris made.
I just want to put screaming Beyblades in an obelisk. Do I see anything else down here? Do I see, like, any signs that the genius has perhaps packed up to leave or left in a hurry, conversely? Do I see like a goodbye note or anything?
That's a very fair question, and I will say with a crit, no. You don't see any signs that they like were left in a hurry, that there's anything strangely disturbed. You see signs of an experiment, so you assume the genius was experimenting right up until the point in which they stopped communicating with other villagers. So that's what I'll give you. There isn't any indication that something untoward happened beyond the natural chicanery of this character. But yeah, the obelisk, the Beyblades, the good neighbor robots, and just a general mess of experiments here.
Is there an instruction manual for the good neighbor robots?
No, that's very funny though. You have everything that's to be gained from here, and there's probably a little bit more you need from somewhere else, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I probably need to come back to this once I have, like, the correct thing in my inventory to click X on Y to progress the point-and-click adventure game.
Yeah, King's Quest got a little weird when they started building goblin obelisks.
I was gonna say Ultima went weird like in game 1 because it had spaceships and stuff in game 1 of Ultima.
See, what I don't know yet is that I need to attach the rubber duck to the fishing line and then attach that to the obelisk.
Yeah, and then it turns out the Guybrush Threepwood is actually in the obelisk. It's actually a carbonite chamber.
That would make sense.
I'm glad we got the rights to have that crossover.
It's amazing what happens, when you get a little notoriety. So,
the LucasArts folks are in my basement. So do you go back to the town square to see the rest of the Young Day celebrations? Where do you think you go after this? Because you have successfully investigated the hell out of this place.
100% as soon as this is done, Neellith is going to head toward the restaurant and just double check that the seemingly, maybe hopefully benign cooking robot isn't going to completely destroy the restaurant.
So that's when Phillippa will meet Neellith, is you chasing after the good neighbor with the spatula hand as it lumbers towards the wined and dined flare. You're both running across the village and you see each other from a distance. Neellith, you're focused on the robot. Phillippa and Aze see your tiny little squid face pulling you quickly after it. And that's the vision of this meeting. Paint me the picture of this.
Oh, hello, new friend. You must be Neellith. I'm Phillippa. My father was Yazi, and his father was... Wait, no, you're not a frost giant. This is great.
No, I'm not. That is great. Hi, lovely to meet you. I need to make sure that thing's not going to smash up my robot. Also,
smash up your robot.
That restaurant's not going to smash up my robot. No.
And Aze, The genius is not in the basement of the house, but I did find screaming Beyblades. I'll show you them later. They're terrifying, but...
Oh no, Beyblades are canon.
Oh, they've been canon.
Beyblades are canon. I'm pretty sure that in one of the seasons where we had trading card magic...
oh god.
That we made Beyblades canon. I used a trading card to summon a big Beyblade.
Incredible.
That is the case. We did talk about this. I think we actually mentioned the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Wizard thing that Laura played.
Yes. Beyblades are not canon. Beyblades.
Yeah, they're Bay. It's B-A-E blades.
Wow, the puns really just don't stop.
when Chris invented them in the episode we recorded together, I did point out that technically Frank Westerly is the inventor of the Beyblade, and the genius is just the rediscoverer of the lost Beyblade technology.
I'm pretty sure the genius has to have implemented the screaming tech.
I will say that I will say, if you're not ready for puns, Laura and I are going to just make things even worse very quickly, I assume. So.
I'm very sorry. I have an entire document dedicated to puns. Please forgive me.
My family is Scouse. I'm ready for puns. It's okay.
So
this robot, huh?
While these introductions are happening, Aze is like running over to try to put himself between the neighbor and the restaurant as well as he can with his frail body, to impede its movement as well as he can.
I found a thing that works. They run on steam. If you can open up his insides, I can dry him up.
Steam. I can heat metal stuff up. Maybe get rid of make the steam all happen at once by heating it up, and then there's no steam left to steam with.
That could work too.
I'm very curious if it's going to destroy the restaurant or if it's going to be a new food-based helping friend. I'm not sure which way it's going. Maybe it's here to help. Oh no, actually, I don't want it helping in the kitchen. It's not going to know my routine or my setup. Okay, Neellith casts heat metal.
All right, so I have to make a save on that.
Any creature in physical contact with it takes 2d8 fire damage. There doesn't appear to be...
Wow.
If a creature is wearing the object and it takes damage, there's a save.
No, this just seems like a really good spell to get used against metal constructs. So I think you just own my bones. Rolled a 2d8 fire damage.
For those who keep track at home, this is Laura getting her second win over Austin immediately.
Only 5 damage.
Yeah. Okay. So you catch up to the good neighbor as Aze blocks its path, and you can run up, put your frying pan up against its leg, and start heating it, and it starts making like a red mark, but then it pulls away. And I think what it does is it scoops up Aze with the spatula and is going to attempt to flip you like a burger. Dexterity saving throw.
Excellent. This is the content I signed up for. That would be a 4.
Nah, 10 damage as you get flipped 10 feet in the air, turn 180 degrees, and then come down on your head.
Aze lands just like full-bodied, like belly flop, just splat on the ground.
Just you get Krillin for the third time.
Oh my god.
Gosh. I mean, like Aze landing face down on the ground is just a mood. And this just is another mark of that tally there. Fantastic.
How deep is the snow? Would Aze be like Looney Tunes, just like imprinting into the snow? Like there's just a little Aze outline.
I think before last episode he got buried in snow, and then this one just getting like just splat into the snow would be a pretty good aesthetic as well. I even forgot to roll for Benefic or Malefic for today, so
I don't think you don't need to know.
Aze will murmur to himself as he lays face down and rolls a 4 on a d20. It's like, today was supposed to be a Benefic day.
All right. So you have 3 of those to use throughout the day, I believe?
Correct, yeah. Basically, it's sort of like a reactionary bardic inspiration where I can say, hey, no, you get a bonus d6 on that roll. How about that? So, and those will come up when necessary.
I can summon one giant constrictor snake, and I feel like stopping it, right, with stopping it in mind. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say I do that. I summon a giant constrictor snake. Very much the same gestures as before. I'm making like a sweep with my staff, and from that, like as I'm spreading my wings, like this time just one phase spirit, but it's like larger and more powerful, and it elongates and turns into this giant snake that I'm hoping will wrap around the robot to stop it.
Yeah, so if you summon a whole ass boa constrictor, I believe we can do a strength contest to see if you can squeeze it and to cause it to malfunction here. The robots are very strong.
Oh, beans.
I rolled a 20.
Oh.
I rolled a 16. Oh no.
Aze will invoke, while in the snow, Aze will invoke the cosmological relationship benefit. So you can roll a d6 and add that to the result.
That's a 3. Oh no, it's just one short. No.
Oh, not enough.
Now, we do have a bard on the scene.
Have bonus points. How do I do that? I can do that.
Inspire my snake, please.
Have a bonus D8 to roll to try and fix that. This poses a problem. Neellith typically does this by preparing a person's favorite dish. Neellith does not know this new person's favorite dish.
Oh jeez.
What does Neellith do in this situation?
What's a surefire hit that will probably be good with anyone?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Because the alternative is either one meal that is going to be, like, no one could disagree with, or it's a little, like, the equivalent of those chocolate selection boxes, but for just, like, here's a bunch of different little small selections of things. Do you want one of these? I'm going to suggest that's what's been prepared, is the emergency lunch box is offered, and it's opened up, and there's like 6 or 7 different very small portions of meals in there. Would one of these inspire you to do better?
Everything's made of brains, right?
No, explicitly
or is that
not.
just in the... Okay, okay. Gotcha.
It's explicitly vegan alternatives to brains.
Okay,
But Phillippa doesn't know that.
Right. Yeah, Phillippa is like absolutely astounded and also like really just confused when offered this lunchbox all of a sudden, especially because it looks like those little pieces of brain have been used for everything.
I mean, not all of the meals are made to look like imitation brains. Just a fair few of them.
And then she sees... What's Philippa's favorite food? I don't know. She sees a like a kebab skewer with like, roasted fruits and meats on it, like a little one, and she's like, "Oh, I love these," and picks that. And it's great, delicious.
So you say, "I love that," and that causes the snake to get a third wind of strength and crush the robot's spine.
So between Aze like lifting up this star orb that gleams and star patterns projecting themselves onto the snake, and you being like, "Oh, I love this," you get...
Yeah, so there was a 16, the boa constrictor was squeezing and not getting anywhere. Added 3 to 19 against my 20. That squeezes harder, and then you add 2, 21 to 20, and crunch, something inside breaks as the boa constrictor gets around some important like cords or something, and the thing falls over backwards. And begins. It's still active and it's still like twitching and trying to move, but it's blue screening somewhere important.
Okay. Are we like outside the restaurant?
Yeah, right outside. Aze put his body in front of it. I think if you had failed this squeezing roll, we would have started trying to defend the front door.
Oh, geez. Okay, just in this with the giant robot twitching on the floor, and Aze's in the snow, and Phillippa like bites one of the pieces off of the little skewer, and then looks around and then goes, "Oh, like a mind flayer!"
Yes!
Oh!
Thank you! Yeah! I workshop so many really, really, really bad brain puns to get to that one, and I look, it's a bad one, but it's my bad one, right?
Aze sits up in his little pocket of snow that he's dug out with his face and rubs at his back. It's like, "I'm not sure what you're saying. All of your wordplay is as impeccable as your culinary work, Neellith."
Hey! I take pride in my creative use of words. I will have to at some point. I've got a new one. Aze, are you ready for it?
Lay it on me.
Neocortex and barbecue ribs.
Oh my God, no. No.
Phillippa's like, "That's not very good."
I'm not sure if my head is throbbing because of the fall or because of processing how succulent that wordplay is.
Neo, it's like neocortex and Texan barbecue, neocortex and barbecue ribs.
Hale runs by and he goes, "Yo, what's Texas?" And just keeps running.
No. It's Neo-Texan, okay? It's Neo-Texan. So we got Shmorida,
Yeah.
Fuscany, Neo-Texan.
Neo-Texas.
Neo-Texas, you know?
Neo Texas is about to explode.
Yeah, Texas was destroyed by Akira, and now
Yeah.
they live in Neo Texas.
Akira was a character in season 5.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just going to start naming properties until I hit one that has not appeared in the show already.
It's not possible. Everything I've said, they were like, we've done that before. I'm just...
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Aze will force himself up and dust more snow off for himself before saying, we've been told by Gigi to, well, stop these things. How many more of these are left, Neellith?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's one for everyone who's part of the friend Voltron.
Yeah, so you all start catching up, doing the exposition off screen, so you don't need to say everything I've already told Laura. Let's catch up with poor Mari, who's been brushing her teeth for an hour and a half.
Oh my god.
I've been brushing my teeth. I've been here.
Well, listen, listen, you're just getting ready for your date, okay? That's fine.
I wish I was going on it. Oh, yeah, my real... No, wait. Fake or real?
I don't know your life, Mari. You're just giving things away. All right, so Mari, paint me the picture of this date. You took Sun, Moon, Stars further up the mountain. Here before I turn it over to you. Do you know how long it takes to scale Mount Everest?
No.
2 months.
Okay, well, it's a lower cliff.
Yeah.
It's a lower... The village is already high on the mountain, and it only took half an hour to walk there. But we were only going to make it there because I was holding Sun, Moon, Stars above my head because I'm supposed to pick up my dates. And then we had a lovely meal together of random food items that I brought with me.
I love the rotten fruit.
Yes. Has it fermented into alcohol? I'm not sure. I'm scared to check. And then Sun, Moon, Stars took me to a wonderful hand-picking place where a group of people had frozen into a block of ice.
Oh my
but their
God.
hands were sticking out. So we took the hands and we stuck them onto my body. So Sun, Moon, Stars can hold my hand at any angle.
And so you go on a romantic stroll through the frozen corpses. Dark. Also, that is kind of how Mount Everest do as well, so.
Yes, that's actually where I got the idea from because they have all the dead bodies.
Okay, good. Yeah, this
And
is
you
also...
said a bunch of people die on the mountain. You have to get them in the spring. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're still going to go get them. We're just getting the hands now.
This is such an educational show. I feel like people overlook that. You really learn a lot.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah, so now my body is flush with hands.
Oh, God, this is a lot. What's your favorite? Do you like the big ones, the small ones?
I wear the hands for you, Sun, Moon, Stars.
Well, I'm a size queen, so...
Then this one right here on my hip.
She holds your hip hand. We all need Jesus so much.
There's no forgiving what we've done here.
I feel like I've created a very wholesome date made of pure intentions.
Yeah.
They're dead. They don't need the hands. I need them.
Yeah.
Because apparently sentients have a very high standard for hands.
Yeah, I think someone star says, "Where did you hear that I like hands?"
Well, I was speaking with the four-handed bird, and they said they wanted all of their hands full. And I thought, well, I guess more hands is better. And I only had 2, but I can modify this. So I'm all the hands, just for you.
Marina looks like a bird to you?
Yes. I fucked that up. I got confused.
I like this much
confused
more.
the different characters.
It's like Slime looks at David Bowie and is like, cockatoo.
Yes, and also, what does a bird look like?
I don't know. What are the chances of us seeing a bird today?
Probably very low.
I like to imagine that Slime has survived for thousands of years and never seen a bird.
Or been a bird.
What a time for Chris to quit the podcast, the leading conspiracy theorist, and our birds aren't real.
Sorry, I messed that up. I got confused.
No, it's much funnier this way.
I think it's something that Slime would legitimately just say.
They're a bird. Why? They just are.
I don't really have a specific thing for hands. I think the stereotype is that I would be into wings because of the angels in my family.
Okay, I can get wings.
No, sorry.
I'll go find some wings.
I was just sharing with you.
I've ruined this. I can find wings. I can do that.
I didn't realize you even felt embarrassment and humiliation and getting owned in front of everyone.
The nightmare dream world really messed with me.
Oh no, tell me about that.
Well, everything seemed like it was what it wasn't, and everything was into interpretation. If you thought it was real. Nothing made sense.
So it wasn't your nightmare so much as just the idea of subjective reality that shook you.
Yes, subjective reality. It was awful. I don't know why you choose to do it.
I've never really thought, would I opt out of dreams? Probably not.
What? What do you mean? What do you see?
All kinds of things. Sometimes I dream about characters from stories I like. Sometimes I imagine different butts.
Different butts.
Wow, me.
The things you can learn about them.
My butt?
Things you can learn from them.
Do you have a butt? I mean, obviously the corpse does, but I don't think of you, Slime, as having a butt.
I can get lots of butts.
Oh, I know you
I
can,
can
sweetie.
I can have every butt you can think of.
Oh no.
Everyone I can think of.
The fault in our butts, the romance coming to you.
I point down to the village below. All those butts could be yours. All you would have to do is ask.
It's the unreleased version of Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. Instead of everybody, it's every butty. So, you know. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I like you the way you are, which is to say, the way you're always changing. I don't want you to be anything specific. I just like how you're always trying things and experimenting.
With the hands?
Sure. And with the bodies, bigger, smaller, orc, goblin, elf.
This is good. I also like to inhabit different bodies and see what they do.
I know. You're very curious.
I am curious. I want to know what your dreams are. Did you know that if I integrated with your brain, I could see your dreams?
You're not going to feel self-conscious about all the butts I dream about?
Maybe. But maybe you're supposed to do that.
So, I think how this works is Aze, Phillippa, and Neellith ask around the village about where Slime went. You hear from the people who were at the Young Day tournament that Slime and Sun Moon Stars went up to the cliff, and you two arrive as they are mid-mind meld sharing butt dreams.
Wait, all of us or just...
I think all three of us, yeah, all three of us.
Keep in mind, I would like to clarify that if I mind meld, controlling their brain is optional, and I've opted not to, and to only access butt dreams.
How very respectful.
You said before that as we were walking, they were filling me in on all of the backstory so that we didn't have to do loads of exposition. So maybe like as we approach, Phillippa's going, oh, that's so interesting. My friend has an erotic fixation with the Krampus. She would have wanted to see that. It sounds strange, but it's very common among women, actually.
And then you crest a ridge and you see this intimate moment between these two characters. And that's your introduction to Slime.
I'm trying to think, because I think that Phillippa's like studied a lot of different creatures and how they act. Maybe seeing this, like, Phillippa would just be like, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say like who covers Phillippa's eyes first?
I think she might immediately like clock it. I don't know if I need to roll for that, but like she might immediately get what's going on and be like embarrassed.
No, I think that's fun as a role play moment. And I also think as this, I mean, I don't want to skip ahead, but I think as this scene's going to end, Sun Moon Stars is going to walk over, make explicit, clear, sustained eye contact and say, "That was exactly what it looked like."
I think as much as you can see it, Phillippa's like blushing.
Okay.
Like she sees this and she's just like, "Oh my goodness! Oh, maybe she like puts up one wing, like trying to block her vision a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Slime, you integrate with Sun Moon Stars in a non-controlling way. You share ineffable, subjective dream experiences. How does that make you feel, and how does it feel to be interrupted by your compatriots?
I feel that I have appropriately felt the right amount of jealousy about butts. And then riding off of this new experience, I see a bird person. What I had previously thought was a bird person was incorrect. This is a bird person. I was mistaken.
Oh, it's Marina. You know, the bird.
In a state of confusion, because I'm not used to dream logic, I ask, "Do you have a butt?"
I have all sorts of things. You must be Slime. I'm Phillippa. My father doesn't matter anymore. And I think she puts her wings on her hips in like a triumphant pose.
Someone somewhere miles away, your father sheds a single tear.
Oh, he's definitely dead.
Oh, he probably.
Aarakocra don't live very long. It's just true.
Yeah, well, we haven't established this in game, but how old is Phillippa?
Like 21 or something, which is like nearly 2/3 through the lifespan of an Aarakocra.
Yeah.
He's definitely dead.
He dead. He been dead. But yeah, Aze is like has his eyes cast aside all the while, just until like things have gotten way less rude to intrude upon.
Sun Moon Stars offers you a hand.
Offers Aze or?
Yeah, just holds out a hand, just like offering someone a mint.
Like a snapped off hand.
Yeah.
Are you in the market for more butts? I'm fascinated to know.
Indeed, I am in the market for more butts. Do you have butts?
I only have mine, and I'm quite attached to it. But
All right. Well, keep it away from Sun Moon Stars.
Oh. Okay. Sure. And I guess she gets very pensive trying to decode that interaction.
Here's all you need to know about slime. Zero subtext. Everything is exactly as it sounds. It's surface level all the way.
Sun Moon Stars kind of whispers to you. Slime says, "Have you ever had a body with a cloaca before?"
I've never had. What is it?
I'll tell you when you're older.
Oh no.
If they die, we can definitely get inside it.
Because I just feel like, hey, I don't talk about your junk in public. I'd appreciate if you didn't talk about mine. That's very rude.
Noted. I will no longer do it. I also ripped off my junk and threw it in the woods.
Wow, I have a lot of friends who've done that. That's, yeah.
Thank you for saying that. It makes me feel like I fit in. I see that you have many scrolls. Do you like to learn?
Yeah, out of character note, Phillippa has the Documency Satchel, which is a satchel that can send documents like a fax machine, and it's basically like linked up to her university so that she can like write reports and send them when she's studying remotely.
Is Nobi here?
As you say that, I think all of you on the mountain hear the distant sound of the moist signal. which means the governor has awoken from his nap and is asking you to gather back at the lodge, and also warning the people of Grendel to take cover inside their homes. But you assume that he was using Nobi as a pillow this entire time and has woken up and is probably giving him a snack right now.
Nobi loves that. That's fine.
I am very glad that we currently have two wet and two dry party members when the signal has gone off, because it would have been a real shame to mess up the balance of perfectly moist. We'd have had to redo the signal.
You might, your humidity rating might change. Phillippa is a wild card. She could be wet. She could be dry. Who knows?
Oh, goodness.
This is too volatile. I don't know how to handle this.
On work time, you be dry on work time.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to invest in some wet hobbies.
Yeah. Oh, alternative. What if Arze just gets even drier?
I can see it happening.
You must balance the scales, Ozzy.
Just Ozzy just shrivels up and gets blown away by the wind.
Yes, you shrivel up because you got drier. Good, done. Dehydrated Arze.
Oh no.
Coming down the mountain, you see ahead of you, group, there is a good neighbor in the cemetery. One arm is a shovel, and the other arm is, I think, like a rib split. What's it called? A rib stretcher. You know, when they do autopsies on bodies, they like, hold the chest cavity open to remove the organs.
Oh dang.
And it's a pretty gnarly looking robot, more so even than the chef robot and the barber robot, which were very sterile, I think. Probably their blades were gleaming and clean. This thing looks like more dirty and at home in the cemetery. And it's just digging a random hole. It's not at a grave, not for any particular purpose. It's just digging a deep hole.
Not to be a one-trick pony, but if I wanted to conjure an animal at this point, I've been thinking about this since our last fight, and Conjure Animal says that I can summon something into an unoccupied space, and the list here says that a killer whale is an animal I can summon.
Oh no.
And an unoccupied space arguably is the space directly above the robot.
So here is some advice for being on Dice Funk. If you make the argument to Austin that it might not be what the rules say, but it would be really cool, you can usually break Austin into letting you do things.
Not to talk myself out of a cool moment, but I did just also find out that it's actually challenge rating 3, and so it would be too high for me to be able to summon. So I'll back off from this.
That. Don't tell Austin that.
Hey, I'm trying to win the fan vote. I want to go by the rules, at least here.
Oh, playing by the rules will not win you anything.
Okay, I summon
the cool
4
shit.
killer whales in the air above Grendel.
A meteor storm of whales. Yeah, I think that the technical answer to your question is that the spell specifies unoccupied, and if you're playing on graph paper, the square that the character is on is occupied.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're not doing the reenactment of the famous movie Snowy with a chance of whales, you know.
I mean, you don't even have to reference anything else. Someone dropped a shark on an opponent in season 3. That was a famous moment.
I would like to summon 2 giant spiders then to web it up.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, there is actually a spell called Spider Web, and I believe the spiders probably can already also do an equivalent of that. So let's just do those rolls. Spider Web. It's called Web. Dexterity save.
And I am now out of my conjure animal slots, so I will be being more varied from here on out.
All right, so a thing you're about to learn by seeing my rolls is that the robots have far less dexterity than they do strength. So 8. The robot is all webbed up.
Nice.
It's still obviously functional, but as you come down the mountain, you see Phillippa summon 2 spiders, which just begin covering it in web, and the web gets in its joints. The web's like sticks the shovel to a tree here, or its like arm gets caught on a mausoleum, and it's all cocooned up here.
And Phillippa would say to Slime, like turning to Slime, would sort of raise her eyebrows to be like, we're in on this thing here, gesturing and going, their butts make silk.
Thank you for that information. I did not know that. I like you.
It's a cool butt. I thought you would like a cool butt. Okay.
Thank you for the butt information.
Phillippa's slightly deflated by the lack of reception and.
What? I I responded very enthusiastically.
Slime said thank you. That is the height of enthusiasm.
She's just still getting used to slime. That's it. Like,
Okay.
she's not. It's not like her day is ruined. She's just a little bit like, oh, okay.
Neellith will let her know that this is excitement from Slime.
Then she's consoled, like, not as excited as she was, but she gets that to have different expectations next time.
I see you are a connoisseur of collecting information. I enjoy this. May I eat your brain when you die?
I mean, I suppose I won't be using it. Yeah, why not?
Oh, wonderful. Embrace eternity.
That's the fucking Mass Effect shit, you nerd.
I know.
I caught you. You're busted.
You've been nerd busted.
Well, having sex with slime is very much similar to embracing eternity.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to Billie Eilish's mom.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Billie Eilish's mom plays Samara in Mass Effect.
What? Are you serious?
That is the correct response to that information.
100%.
That is insane.
You might say she's the bad guy.
No,
Duh.
I wouldn't say that. I would say she didn't come out of nowhere. All of her family are extremely important industry people.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyway,
Still.
Yeah, but bad guy.
so Sun Moon Star says, "I'm gonna fill in this hole. I hope you have a good day at work." And she gives you a little kiss on the cheek.
I will attain more body parts to please you, my love.
Only if you want to.
I want to. Now go. I must protect you.
I think you.
Chivalrous.
I think you do see Sun Moon Stars consider that like for a moment, like there's a visible expression on their face, like, yeah, I am pretty excited about new body parts. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then she gets back to work filling in this big hole.
Do I have like? I was wondering if I could detect these anyway, but like where the others are, but I guess they're not. They're just completely not animals, so I wouldn't know.
Well, there is no ambiguity about where the good neighbors are. There's one for each of the major figures in town.
Right, of course they are. Yeah. Okay.
And besides, we're
Yeah.
still on our way to answering the call of the moist. So yeah.
Yeah, sorry, you've arrived right in the middle of a lot happening. It's been a day. Can't escape.
That's okay. I just need a reason to be looking around town anyway.
I mean that's good. This is definitely an adventure that is probably going to take us to all of the major hotspots in town. Other than presumably the place where I let them out from, the place that I got the screaming spinning tops.
Yeah, you've told the party about that, and also that there's an obelisk there, which you, if given the right knowledge or material, you could interact with. So there's every chance you'll go back there.
Nice to meet you. I probably should have asked sooner. Are you here for anything specific? We're about to get snowed in for probably a while. You just passing through, or?
I'm looking for something, but I'll know it when I see it. Don't worry.
Okay, and it's here, presumably?
Yeah, it was for a friend.
Okay, well, welcome. I hope you are ready for a very cold and isolated couple of months where you can't really go anywhere.
I've been living with frost giants for 9 months on a mountainside.
Okay, comparatively less isolated.
Making up stories about cultures that don't exist to entertain them, so they don't eat me.
Did they know they didn't exist, or was no?
No, they just like good stories. But I'm happy to be back in Grendel.
I mean, you're less likely to get murdered for not telling a story about a fictional warrior here. That's something.
I'll take what I can get.
We do have occasional ghost problems. We've had a lot of ghosts here recently.
Did you bust it?
We did our best to bust it.
Did it feel good?
It did feel good.
I'm glad.
As I was mentioning earlier, this is the back end of one of the holidays in town, Young Day, and it seems that the festivities went by fairly well, though it looks like we're just straight back to work afterwards, no real time for rest.
Yeah, the holidays always go by too fast.
Speaking of the Young Day celebrations and the prizes you won, Neellith, our audience helpfully informed us that the toys you were referencing are called gonks, and they originated in the United Kingdom in the 1960s. I have a
This is why I wasn't sure if any of you would know what I was talking about, because they feel very British.
They are explicitly so.
And even if they are, you should still reference them, you know?
Well, see, that's what I thought until you all didn't know what Eton Mess was.
When I heard that bit, I was scandalized that you didn't know.
This looks like the type of toy that's on that one YouTube channel where it's an old English guy playing with random toys.
You're talking about
Is that
Ashens,
it?
yeah.
No, not Ashens. It's a different person. It's an even older guy, and he's like, "Oh, I went to the blah today." And
You're talking about the Grand Illusions channel. Yeah, you're talking about him. Yeah.
I think so. And he's like, and you've just seen the most interesting little thing right here. And he like winds like a toy, and it turns into a flower, and then shoots a gun or something.
Yep. Yeah. He has like the endless snake in a can sort of thing that he had made, and stuff like that. Yeah, I know which it's I believe it's the Grand Illusions YouTube channel in particular, and it's just this old man.
I do also know this guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
If you ever want to truly relax, it's an old man playing with toys.
Dice Funk, the most informative actual play D&D podcast on the internet. But yeah, Neellith, you're showing the rest of the party your gonk, which is the egregore.
I'm putting the gonk on the spinning top so that if I spin the spinning top, it now seems like the gonk is screaming.
Okay, well, it's great that you have invoked the Beyblade because you don't know exactly what it does, but now that you've put something on it, we're going to roll here. Intelligence to see if you can, I guess you would say twig what's going on. That is not American slang. I've learned that from you.
You learned that from watching me, did you?
I learned it from watching you.
Crit!
No fucking way.
I told you need to stop
Jesus.
prompting Laura to roll, Austin. She's going to ruin you, and any mystery will be immediately uprooted by Neellith's impenetrable accuracy on her rolls.
Okay, so you drop the gonk onto the Beyblade just to see what happens. The Beyblade immediately expands to a much bigger size here, 3 feet in diameter, 1 inch thick, and it floats 3 feet off the ground because it is Tensor's floating disc, a iconic D&D spell. But there are 3 of them, which you can use. So it was going to be basically like 3 uses of them per arc, but with a crit, you just have 3 discs you can deploy whenever you want. They can each carry, let's see here. Oh God, it's so much. 500 pounds. So 1,500 pounds added to your carrying capacity.
Oh my God.
But they do scream the entire time.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's wonderful. I can use these maybe to transport the obelisk.
Also, I will say that there are some normally some rules about the floating disc about like it needs to be 20 feet away from you and then it follows you and can't cross elevation changes. I'm going to say, because you crit specifically, I'm going to be very flexible about that. Normally, if you had rolled a 12 or something, I just do floating disc as written. But you crit, so I think you can absolutely we can get a little silly with these things.
Oh, this is gonna make getting ingredients from the farm back to the restaurant so much easier.
That is fantastic. Good gosh.
Then I guess Phillippa, like, either leaning in very close or yelling very loud would be like, Tensor's float. Like, maybe you can't hear it even. I don't know. Like, just like, Tensor's floating disc.
Yeah, I think as soon as it's realized that, like, oh, these things are going to keep screaming even though I've worked out what they do now, I think that Neellith is going to very quickly put them away and be very hesitant to get them back out. I don't think Neellith is great with that's a big scream that won't stop. I don't think that's Neelith's bag.
There has to be a drawback to how powerful these are. It's just that your character is annoyed.
Yeah.
It is 100%. They're like, oh no, this is a sensory nightmare. This is very bad, very bad, very bad.
So you pick up the egregore gonk, and that immediately stops the screaming. Once there's nothing on them, that turns the screaming off, I will say. And so you can put them back in your bag. I would say holding the gonk now, though, you look across the village to the governor's lodge, and you see the egregore itself.
Oh!
It is not moving. It appears to be frozen mid wrestle with one of the good neighbors, specifically the governor's good neighbor. One of its hands is a fountain pen, and one is a big rubber stamp. And it was like wrestling the egregore and was defeated, at which point the egregore became ceased being animated and is basically a statue, but they are frozen like a Greek sculpture of two boys wrestling at the Olympics.
Oh, hey, this is cool. This is cool.
Those lovely homoerotic sculptures we all enjoy so much.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, like, so does the rubber stamp say approved or denied on it though?
Well, there's a word I'm searching for specifically when they put something, when they like table something for later, but I can't remember what it's called.
Is it blocking the door, I guess?
No, they're like in the front yard.
Okay,
also,
okay.
I just looked this up. Apparently, table is the official term for the parliamentary procedure. There's not like a fancier word for it. I thought table was like informal, and there was like a long Latin word for it, but
no, it's a little tabled.
Yeah. Okay. Postponed temporarily, I guess, but is the other term. But
right.
I think
postponed is.
Yeah, in the HBO adaptation, it'll say postponed.
All right, so Aze will just sort of look at the egregore, and the good neighbor just be, that must have been what spurred the call.
Can I like pet the egregore? like good job. Like, good job, buddy.
Phillippa has no context for this giant monstrosity made from a bunch of different stuff, which seems to have fought one of these robots, but it seems like it's on your side, so you give it a little pat.
I would like to just give it a little encouraging pat, that's all.
On the dead body leg?
Why not? Why not?
Yes.
Honestly.
We head inside. Go find the governor.
Yeah, you open the doors to the lodge, and you see inside the governor is seems actually like exhausted. Like his clothes are like stained with sweat, and he's like fanning himself profusely. And there's also just a mess of paperwork. It seems like he's like rapidly trying to sign decrees, being like, "I do so declare the robots must stop." But like that does not. It doesn't do anything. He's just trying to do his job. And so he has a bunch of those edicts, but he also seems really tired out. There's more to discern about this situation, but what do you do?
Discern how? Just like a perception check or something?
Exactly, a perception check, yeah.
Aze will use his normal eyes, not his special eyes, rather, to observe the matter, and Aze rolls a 24.
9, I don't know what's going on.
11.
4.
Aze, you got a 24, so I'll actually give this to you in character, is that you spot a piece of broken glass on the ground. As you come in, it's like on the other side of the room, but that's the thing you notice. But no other context with only a 24 and an 11.
Everything all right, given the circumstances, Governor, and Aze is going to be walking towards the broken glass.
Obviously not. The genius has unleashed a plague upon us.
In the genius's defense, I might have unleashed the plague, but in my defense, they were called the Good Neighbor Initiative. I thought they'd be good neighbors.
You're always full of defenses.
Good neighbor! How could good neighbor be bad? I mean, this is how good neighbor could be bad.
So Phillippa's still catching up on this bit, and she'd be like, so you and your friend made the robots.
No, I didn't make the robot. I went looking for our friend and couldn't find them, and then a thing asked me if I wanted to activate the Good Neighbor Initiative, and good neighbors sound like good. That sounds positive and lovely and nice, and so I said yes, and now there's robots.
Speaking as someone who once tried to do good, but really was just controlling, it seems as if this was good intentions gone poorly.
You all are naive. The genius has tricked all of us. Your affections are misplaced.
Hey.
Okay.
The genius is... Okay. Hey, the genius is good of heart. When I definitely didn't have to confront my living nightmare, the genius was very good and helpful and nice and supportive and a friend. Their door recognized me as not a bad person, therefore everything's fine. I trust them.
I don't know them, so my affections are in the right place. I like you, Gigi. Sorry, Mr. Governor. And then she winks, because it's a new promotion that she just heard about today.
Clearly, Miss Heck, you're the only one I can trust here, so I'm promoting you to the official liaison from the governor's office to the Moist Watch. I need you to accompany them to apprehend this criminal. And he finishes writing the edict he has in front of him, which is an arrest warrant for the genius of Grendel.
Why have you appointed a stranger to be in charge of people who have been in the job longer than them?
I have known Miss Heck since she was very young. I taught her everything I know, which makes her the second smartest person in Grendel.
So wait, I have to help these people to arrest their friend for robots?
This will also give you ample opportunity to search for the frost giant's missing pebbles, was it?
Yeah, I don't know it when I see it.
I hope you enjoy having your next meal slightly lukewarm.
Oh, Neellith, that wounds me. But I trust that when all of this is over, you will see the genius as I do.
I hope you'll see them as I do.
I don't say this often, Mayor, but your actions are illogical and seem to be lining up with different intentions.
How dare you? I am not the mayor. The mayor is a democratically elected position. We choose our leader by sortition, and I have dictatorial authority.
I think Phillippa maybe puts her back slightly to the governor and says, "Come on, Moist Watch, let's go arrest your criminal friend now," and winks at them.
There is no evidence our friend is a criminal.
We're very ready to do that.
Let's go arrest your friend anyway, even if there is no evidence, because that is what the governor wants and that's all that matters. And she winks again, but harder.
It is your job to collect the evidence. That is how we do things. Although we do not have a penal system here. We don't have so much as an oubliette to house them. So also on your journey, in addition to arresting this criminal, also I'm going to need you to brainstorm an entire justice system. If you could do that for me.
During all of this, Neellith is just whispering to Slime. So you know that sarcasm thing I told you about? That's what's happening here with the that's what Phillippa's doing.
Yes.
Maybe seeing that Slime's been given a clue, Phillippa's like, "Okay, let's leave this place and go and arrest your very bad friend we all agree is bad."
Yes, arrest the genius of Grendel. That's order number 1. Order number 2, decide what to do with them. Order number 3, defeat any of these good neighbors you find upon your path. Thank you very much.
Don't worry, Moist Watch comrades, I have a plan.
Well, that's good. We should go enact it. Moist watch away.
As you all open the lodge doors and go to leave, I think the governor holds out the arrest warrant to Phillippa specifically, just to hand it to you.
Yeah, I think she'd take it, but just really, like, no, she's not happy about that.
Yeah, when you reach out and take it gingerly, the governor leans forward and just says to you, "A word of warning. This is the second person close to the mystic Aze who has gone missing. The first person was never found. Keep an eye out and don't turn your back on it."
I was following the pack, all swallowed in their coats, with scars of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn the white snow red and strawberries in the summertime.